Hey Hearthstone fans, I'm Osiris. Hello Blizzard, Ben Brode, the Laughmaster 3000, how you doing? Alright, so there's been a lot of talk about the new player experience, and Ben put out a notification about some changes that they were planning on making, and I just feel like you're going down the wrong path, and I spent over a decade watching Wizards of the Coast double down on some terrible decisions with Magic Online, and I just don't feel that that's necessary. So I'm going to make two different ideas here, and I think if you followed them, you would solve the new player experience. So let me know what you think. All right, so first of all, it comes down to this. It comes down to basic cards. Boom. All right, these guys, yeah, basic cards. These are the cards that you unlock when you're leveling up your character. So basically, if you nerf all of these cards, then what's going to happen is you're going to exacerbate the new player experience even worse, because what will happen is once they've already leveled up, they're going to just have these useless cards, these useless, terrible cards that have been nerfed, that not only have they been nerfed, they can't even be disenchanted. They're uncraftable. You can't get rid of them. They these have to go. All right. And so what I suggest is a little radical, but we just gotta pull the Band-Aid off of this terrible design for how players get cards, and just do away with it. So what do we do with these guys? You send them to Wild. Into the Wild Blue Yonder they go. That's it. And so then they're gone. But then how do players get new cards? Well, it's pretty easy. Basically, they just they should get common cards out of whatever the newest set is, which in this case it is Mean Streets of Gadgetstan and the classic set. All right. And so that's pretty much it. You replace all of the basic cards with common cards from the latest expansion and the classic set. So that way, players, after they've finished leveling or whatever, then they actually have cards that are relevant to the environment that they're actually coming out in. And that means that in a year from now, like if a new player came into the game, they would start getting cards out of whatever the common cards out of whatever latest set that is, and the classic set. And in addition, the classic set cannot be evergreen. It can't be, because if it is, then you're going to end up in the exact same situation. Wow, why are people always playing Lightning Bolt in the Shaman deck? We're going to have to nerf Lightning Bolt. Now it only deals 2 damage and has Overload 2. No, that feels bad for everybody who's concerned. If you don't want Lightning Bolt in here, then on a yearly basis, send it to Wild and replace it with maybe one of those other cards that used to be basic. That's it. And these cards would be their cards. No more uncraftable. They actually get, no more, you can't disenchant it. Just, these are their cards. They get those cards. All right. So that's it. I'm not the only one who said that. Brian Kibler said that, and he's a genius. And he also has game design experience. In fact, hire that guy. I'm not kidding. Okay. So that's the first thing, is getting rid of the evergreenness of the classic set and totally getting rid of basic cards entirely. Now the second thing is, when I go here to a new deck and I click here and I have these cool deck recipes, look at these, and I click this, and then wow, look at that, I have all of these cards. I can go ahead and play that deck. How cool is that? But if I'm a new player and I come over here and I click this and I see all these, they're all red because I don't own any of these cards. So how cool would it be if there were like 3 to 5 decks that were just available for anybody to play? Like there was like a special symbol over this deck, for example, and I could actually just pick this deck, and even if I didn't own any of those cards, I could play that deck, right? I could play it on ladder. It would mean that, I have a somewhat competitive deck that I can get in there, and I won't be smashed by my garbage all the time. And the thing about the deck is you wouldn't be able to play any of your golden cards. You wouldn't be able to swap any cards in it. You have to play just that deck, because it's kind of like, provided for you by Blizzard. And then the next month or whenever you guys update the deck recipes, that deck's probably going to go away and replaced with something else, and then they can play that deck. And in addition, like when there's a world championship, for like a month after the world championship, you could have the world champions decks. Whichever decks that he brought to the world championship are now available for everybody to play for that month. Yeah, ladder would be really crazy with nothing but world champion decks, but you know, that's that would be very interesting. And also it would have the dual purpose of making people kind of more interested in the world championship, and because those are cards that now it looks like they're probably going to be playing, instead of, oh well, if I save up all season, maybe might be able to finish this one deck, and by the time I do, it's getting moved over to half the cards are going to be wild anyway, which just kind of feels bad when you're always behind like that. So that's pretty much it. So no more evergreen, get rid of basic cards, and make a few ready-made decks that people can play, competitive decks that people can play on ladder for free. And if you did that, you would completely solve your new player experience. So those are my notes. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you